How's it going? It is me, Skoda Based, and today I'm doing a review on gaming gloves. Are they worth it? If you're anything like me, you want a pair of gloves that are not just durable, but comfortable and easy to use with a controller without hindering your gameplay. Obviously, you don't want it to interrupt your gameplay. You want to be able to seamlessly control your movements with the controller as you're playing without any sort of, discomfort or, just bad sensitivity from your fingers to your controller. Um, with that said, I have 7 pairs of gloves that I ordered online. I'm going to go through them each one by one, and I'm going to give my honest, straightforward review on each one of these pairs. Um, some of these pairs are specifically advertised as gaming gloves, but I do have a couple that are not quite advertised as gaming gloves, but I thought that they might still be good for using as gamer gloves. Um, so I'm going to show you them all one by one. Uh, I've never had gaming gloves before, and I myself need a pair. So, and that's what got me motivated to do this video in the first place. So that's just gonna, uh, help encourage me to give a more honest and accurate review for these gloves. And the ones that I end up picking are obviously the ones that I consider the best and most suitable for me, at least personally. For you, you might agree with me and you might be able to take my word for it and get it, but I also would recommend that you listen up closely and pay attention to what I'm showing you. So that way you can make your own judgment and decide what's good for you for your gaming experience. Without further ado, let's get this started. So, first, I have this brand, Simari. This is not a name brand. Not that I know of. It comes in a little, uh, a little package like this, a little envelope. You open it up here and you get your gloves. Sorry, the angle's kind of bad on my camera the way I have to have it. Um, I promise I'll get a better setup sooner or later. But anyways, so we got our gloves here. This is, like I said, Simari. Okay, you just take them right out. We got the 2 Simari gloves right there for you. The material feels good. It feels durable. It feels quality. It looks cool. You can see this is rubber right here. This, you could feel it. It feels rubber. It's really grippy, extremely grippy, which is a good thing. It feels like a good quality grip. And then of course these don't have the grips, but this is for, I presume, for like to use on your devices, a tablet or a phone, which I'll definitely show you. I'll showcase that to you here in a second. So here we go. It's got like a cool little design on the side right there. It's got the power uh emblem, the power icon right there, which is pretty cool. I'm a sucker for those types of things. So aesthetically, it's really nice. It feels nice. It looks nice. Now let's see if it wears nice, and then after that, if it plays nice. So, whoop, don't wanna do that. All right, so the it feels really good. The thing is though that I noticed right away is that it's a little constricting, which I guess you can assume for a glove it's going to be a little constricting, but uh I don't feel any airflow. I'm not sure if these advertise that there's airflow, but you would assume there would be for a gaming glove, especially when it's advertised as a gaming glove. And I just don't feel the airflow through it. However, they are warm, and they feel, like I said, durable, but they're snug and they feel a little bulky as well, I must say. So not quite sure if these will play well on the controller, but we're gonna give that a try here in a second. Put this other glove on. All right, now here's my controller. And I mean, it grips really nice. The grip is great. However, the sensitivity to the buttons is not good. I mean, I suppose you can get used to it if you play constantly. If you're consistently using this glove and always playing, you can get used to it, I'm sure. But like I said, it feels really bulky, and there's just the what is it called? The like extension from your hands to the controller with the glove being the median is not really good. It doesn't feel that good. It doesn't really feel how I would expect a gaming glove to feel. So with that said, I mean, and I have paddles on here, as you can see the paddles right there. uh it's a little rough to get. I mean, you can do it, but I can see it being a problem, at least at first, until you get used to these gloves. um but yeah, I guess my final say would be they look really nice. I love the look of them. I love how it has the little power icon there. The grips look and feel really good, and the grips are good. The material is really nice. It's quality. It feels durable. However, using it as on the controller, the sensitivity to pressing the buttons is really weak, which is not good, especially, if you're playing games, that's what you need. So you know what button you're pressing. It feels a little too bulky, and it just feels bulky holding the controller all around. So I wouldn't consider this glove very good, but they're all right. Like they get an okay. Very cool, good looking gloves though. Let's just go over here and test this real quick, so you can see my little setup there. All right, so let's go here. Okay, so it works good. Oh, what is that? Oh, we don't need politics in here. Not yet, sir. Okay, cool. We got a bunch of stuff on here. Whoops, don't want to go in my files. Nothing important there, anyways. It's just my stuff that I returned and whatnot. Go to the friggin' there. All right, so it works good. Works pretty good. You can go through it. No problem. To be expected. Oops. All right. So, those are the Simari gloves. Next, we will do the next pair. Just 1 second here. Get you going on this next pair. This next pair right here is a brand that you know probably very well. They started out small, but now they're fairly big. And they are New Balance. These are fleece gloves, and I believe these are one of the gloves that did not promote gaming. However, I looked them up and they seemed like a decent pair that might work. Sorry, it's a bit blurry there. My camera's just not capturing it correctly. But nonetheless, we're trying to figure out if these gloves are good enough, not if the camera's good enough, right? So here they are. We got New Balance. Pretty cool glove. I mean, pretty basic. Here we got the inside. It's not quite as attractive as the last glove, and these actually feel less durable. Um I believe the quality is the same or better. It's just actually I think it's because they're thinner, which might be a good thing. We're going to see here in a second. Um so yeah, these are the New Balance. I'm actually kind of excited to wear this one. All right, putting them on. Oh, yeah, right away you can just feel that it's a lot thinner. It feels more like what I would expect a gamer glove to feel like. And this, I don't even think this one was promoted as a gamer glove. That's insane. I knew I had a good hunch about this one, but this is New Balance. and I can feel air all through here, through my fingers. I could feel it. I could feel it. Right. I don't even have to do that. I could just feel it right away without even trying. You could feel it going in. It's not like, an air conditioning or anything like that, but it's certainly, you can feel the breeze. You can feel the like light air going through it. That's a good thing. That means these are breathable. And it has, of course, the 2 tips as well. Go ahead and use this. Tips work. Okay. We're in. All right, cool. So that works. That's just a bonus. That's not the main, it's not the main event. We are now going to put on the other glove. Oh, yeah. See, I have a good feeling about these gloves. They're really thin, but also quality. New Balance was a small company. It's not a small one anymore. They're pretty big now. You see them everywhere. They have their commercials and all that stuff. Oh yeah, you can definitely feel the difference. These are great. I love these ones. These are good. You can feel the sensitivity to the buttons. It feels like I'm like almost not wearing gloves. Everything feels good. Everything feels perfect, accurate. It feels nice. I like these gloves. These gloves are actually really good. And these aren't even designed for gaming. These are just gloves that I thought I looked up thin gloves and these popped up and I was like, let me give those a try. You know? So far, these are the ones for me. These grips, you could feel the grip. If it's grip, you could feel it. It's really nice, just like the other ones. The other ones were a little bit more grip on them, but these are like it's still grip on this one. The other ones were just a lot of grip, which can be useful. So just keep that in mind if you're looking for a lot of grip. But this is perfect. This is like, and I like how it's like right here, it's not cut off like the other ones. The other one's cut off right here. This one grips. Whoops. Sorry about that. This one grips all the way. Let me get that back in focus for you. This one grips all the way, okay? And it feels good with the controller, as I can reiterate. I like it. It feels perfect. The buttons are perfect. This is probably my favorite one right now. I think this might honestly take it. These are good. New Balance. And I'll leave the prices on each one and what their exact models are. I'll put them in the description, and also I will show you on screen as well. Okay, New Balance, nice New Balance. I will say though that they do feel very thin. They might rip easily if you don't take care of them. But I think they are quality. It's just you got to be careful is what I'm saying. With that said, we are now going to look at the next item here, and it is from a brand called Achiou or Achoy. Achiou. I'm not sure what that says. Achiou. I will put it, like I said, I'll put everything in the description. It comes in a little bag like this. See this other side? You can open the bag up. It's a Ziploc, and then you just open it up. So we got this one. These ones look more like actual winter gloves. So these ones were probably, advertised as actual winter gloves, but can be used as gamer gloves. However, these ones I would say are probably more for people who live in actual cold regions. So if you live in a cold regions, maybe this one might be the one for you. Um I don't know. The other ones are really warm too. The first ones that I showed you, those were good. The Simari, I would probably pick those ones honestly, but we'll see how bulky these feel. If these are less bulky, then these might be the ones to go for. Here, that's the company. Achiou. Okay, now let's put these gloves on. Oh yeah, these ones feel a lot warmer. These ones are like made for like snow areas and freezing cold hands. So if you're looking for a glove just for freezing cold, these ones wouldn't be too bad. They have decent grip. It's not as grippy. I mean, it feels a little grippy. It's just not as good as the other two, especially not as good as the first one. The first one has the best grip so far. Um, it has three fingers with the thumb, the index, and the middle finger all have the screen touch screen compatibility. Okay, go ahead and look at that right now. All right. So just go here. Get a good look at my reflection, huh? All right, so that works. Also, as to be expected, as always. Oops, get my camera back in focus. Having no trouble here. All right, so let's get this next one on. Sorry for the amateur style right here, but I don't have a good setup for these type of videos. I just kind of did this, at the spur of the moment because I wanted to get some gaming gloves and I figured I'd share my experience with everybody because I know this is probably something that you're interested in. I was. So yeah, I mean they look all right. They look pretty cool. They're gloves, so you can't really. But the other ones honestly looked a little cooler. They had the gaming style. These are all right. These look like actual like. Honestly though, like the material and stuff, it feels like what you would get at like Walmart or something, like a regular glove at Walmart or like Target or something like that. Um, so the material's not super quality or anything. It doesn't seem like it. Especially like the grips, the same thing. It doesn't feel as quality. As for the controller, um, the controller actually feels a little the sensitivity to the button feels a little better than the first one. Not as good as the New Balance. The New Balance still takes the cookies out of the jar for this one. But it's definitely better feel than the first one. It's warmer than the first one. It feels more compatible with the controller than the first one, but it doesn't have as much grip. It doesn't look as appealing. Um and it's not as quality. The first one and the second one were really good quality. The New Balance was definitely the better of the three so far. But yeah, this one I would say for gaming gloves, I would say this one's the second best. Simari being the last because it just doesn't seem or feel like a gaming glove. However, the Simari looks like gaming gloves, and this one doesn't look like gaming gloves, which is interesting. But these ones play better as gaming gloves. You can feel it. But like I said, New Balance definitely feels the best so far. It feels really good. Like it almost feels like you're not wearing gloves. It's really nice. All right. Now, for this third one, another name brand that you've heard of for sure. This one is going to be Under Armour. So we got Under Armour here. Came with this. Okay. So here's the Under Armour gloves. I think that little freaking dusty in here, huh? Under Armour, the cool little emblem there. All right. Of course, this is Under Armour. The quality is really good. Uh, it feels like the same as the New Balance but a little bit thicker. So I'm afraid it's probably gonna be just like the New Balance one, but a little thicker. For these gloves, I don't think these were advertised as gaming gloves either. To be fair, these were advertised just as regular, probably workout gloves, but they were thin gloves that help air out the sweat. Oh yeah, and by the way, those other gloves didn't really air out my hands that much either. I couldn't feel any air when I was using them, so just keep that in mind. For this one, we're gonna try to put them on. Okay. Um, the grip. Here's the grip. Oh, I need to stop doing that. That's not good. The grip here is it doesn't feel that grippy, to be honest. It's like it's almost seems redundant to even have this here if it's not going to be grip enough, but whoop, I just keep doing that, don't I? You guys are going to hate me. The grip is just not that good. It's got the little Oh, I really suck at this. I'm so sorry. Drinking game. Every time I hit the camera, take a shot. I'm just kidding. Please don't take a shot. I don't want you getting all freaked up. Now, okay, so this one seems a little more accurate on the movement. It feels like more smooth when I push this. Oh, maybe that one. Yeah, it feels a little bit more smooth. But that's probably to be expected from one that's not made for gaming. This is made more for working out, and but it doesn't feel that bad. Not There's a little bit more airflow on this one than the other ones, or not the other ones, but than the last one I did and the first one. Not as good as the New Balance, but still some airflow. Should be expected by Under Armour. Okay, this one also feels pretty good for the controller holding. It feels very compatible with the controller to hold it in play. This is interesting. It's a lot more thin. It's not as warm. It's not as like what is it called? Constricted on your hands. It doesn't have that furry warm feeling like the what is it called? The Achiou gloves have, or the Simari gloves. Those both feel constricted on you. And of course, those are also both off brand. So I guess it would make sense that they're not quite up to par. But yeah, it feels good. Like you can feel the buttons. It's not as good as the New Balance, though, if you're wondering. I would for sure, without a doubt, there's no doubt in my mind, I would take New Balance over the Under Armour. But these are really good gloves. The quality's good. They feel good. There's a little bit of airflow in them. The only thing also I don't like is the grip. I mean, the grips are virtually useless on this glove. It's not super good on grip. But I mean, this might just be good for just like a simple workout or something like that. So maybe you don't need so much of a grip, which is probably why it's like this. I'm just speaking from a gaming glove perspective, and the grips they're just not that good. But they're Under Armour, so it's cool. It has the little emblem on there. They feel good quality. They're pretty comfortable, and it feels good on the controller. To be honest, it does feel good. You can touch the buttons easily. There's a sensitivity to the buttons, and you can touch screen as well. So this probably is, I would say, the second best one. New Balance is taking it by storm right now. I promise you. I would go with the New Balance so far. So yeah, that's it for the Under Armour. Now, for these next gloves are going to be, I have the same brand but two different kinds. One is going to be fingerless, and the other is going to be with the fingers, and it is Ironclad. These are the most advertised as gaming gloves. It even says it right. You can see it. It says it right there on the on the screen, or on the cover. So sorry about the blurriness, but like I said, we're here to review some gloves. Shouldn't be a big deal. I'll get better quality eventually. But yeah, we got the ones without the fingers and the ones with the fingers. I'm gonna try out both of them. These are supposed to be for gaming. Like they're advertising it super hard. Um and I've seen some bad reviews. I've seen some good reviews. I haven't really seen too many videos online that were real thorough on explaining them. So, that's another reason why I got these. So, I'm going to give these a try. I personally wouldn't get the ones without the fingertips because I mean my hands sweat, especially if your hands sweat and you're trying to keep your controller clean. Like I don't even know why they would have one without the hands on it or without the fingers tips on it. But I got it anyways just to see how it feels, cuz maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. So, we're going to take these bad boys out. Okay. The color looks kind of dull. You see it on my screen like it doesn't look like bright yellow. That's not from my camera. They actually look really dull. So they're not vibrant. Which I mean, they're gloves as I said, you want them to play good. You don't really care how they look too much. But I mean, for gamer gloves, like we love the RGB stuff. Well, some of us. I don't really care too much about RGB. But like we like colorful things, Why not? But yeah, they are not. I'm gonna cut this off with my Fiskars here. Show you a little bit, just so you can get in on the action. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, first impressions, they kind of seem like uh one of those gotcha types of gloves. But we'll see here, right? The material doesn't I mean, it feels all right. It's not too bad, I guess. I might be being a little too harsh for these guys. It's really okay. So it actually feels really comfortable. It like it's really comfortable. It feels like yeah, and it has grip. This is grip. The yellow is the grip part. So it feels pretty comfortable. But yeah, worries. I definitely wouldn't get these because of the fingertips alone. But we'll see with the ones with the fingertips. So yeah, it has nice and grip. It feels a little cheap. I'm not gonna like the grip feels cheaper than the other grips that I've touched, and this feels really thin and cheap right here too. And I've saw in the reviews that these ones like mess up super quickly, and I think I believe them. I'm gonna have to believe them just based off of this first impression of how they feel. So I'd have to take their word for it. Get this guy on. Okay. Not going to be too much review with this. Obviously, I'll be able to the compatibility is good. Well, honestly, it's not that bad. I could see it could definitely stop you from sweating on your palms and whatnot. But of course, like my fingers I don't want my fingers to smudge my controller up and mess it up or anything. I don't even want an accident to happen. I'm always going to wear my gloves when I game. So these will be a no go for me. However, if you're just looking for gloves to stop you from sweating on them, these are not too bad. But like I said, they feel really cheap. It feels like it's going to like rip not too far from now. I feel like a few intense gaming sessions and this stuff might just fall apart. Um, they look kind of cool, I guess. I'm not too big of a fan on their design, but I like this. I like this here. It makes it like kind of gives that little feeling of I guess quality or like like professionalism, I guess. So, it definitely has that effect on you, but that's not going to be good enough for a guy like me. I need something that works for real, not just looks good, but actually is good. And but yeah, I mean these are decent. I guess if you take care of them, they can go a long ways. And if you're not doing anything too intense or crazy, they might be okay. Um, so yeah, these are not too bad. These are better than I'd say the first one and the third one. The Simari and the Achiou, these are better. But I would say these are probably the third best. Well, I don't know. They might be a little bit better than the Under Armour too. It's just the Under Armour has better a little bit of quality, so I guess it's kind of like a stalemate between the Under Armour and the Ironclad. But for sure, I'm gonna have to go with the New Balance, even with these. But we'll see how I feel with the ones with the tips on them. And these, just for your information, they're harder to take off, which I can see that stressing them out and making them, rendering them uh vulnerable to tear, wear and tear. And that is not a good thing. So keep that in mind. These feel like they will tear faster than your normal gloves. All the other gloves feel more durable and better quality. So just keep that in mind for this one. And I feel like I'm gonna rip these. Just trying to take them off is crazy. Oh, I forgot to take off the I forgot to take off the thing. But still, even with the Velcro off, it's still a little. Yeah, I could see why people, they might have done that by design, to be honest. I know these guys can be sneaky sometimes, especially when they mess with the gaming community. They like to pick on us a lot. Companies, they love picking on us. Just throw gaming on it, they'll buy it. And some of us unfortunately do buy it, and then we get fooled and bamboozled because we're trying to trust people. But these people don't love gaming like we do, you know what I mean? So you got to be careful out there. Anyways, that is a third place for those. But like I said, they're kind of cheap feeling, so I wouldn't get them, to be honest. But it's your choice. If you don't want to take my word for it, you can go ahead and maybe you might get a good pair, and maybe you're better at taking care of gloves than I am. Maybe you'll be fine. So with these, we got the ones with the finger sleeves. Okay, it's the same gloves. Actually, these ones have different. These ones are different. Actually, the other ones have the grip, have more of a grip on them, which felt good. So it makes me. And these ones with the full hands, this right here, this pleather or whatever this fake leather stuff is, feels really, really low quality. It feels like it's going to rip immediately, and I hope that they don't rip as I'm putting these on. That's how bad it feels. It feels like it's going to rip as I put them on. Okay. Not that comfortable either, I must say. Putting them on, I mean, it feels snug, like not overly snug like the other ones. And once I tighten it up, it actually feels a little better, but the pinky just feels awkward. I mean, but some of you can probably get over that. I mean, I can get over it if I really had to. So it's not a super big deal, but you can feel like this whole section right here. You could feel it's like a different feeling than the rest of the hand, which might bother a lot of people. It bothers me. Um, and it feels just low quality, I guess. It just doesn't feel sturdy. It doesn't feel durable. Let's put this other one on. Okay. Okay, so the other one for some reason felt a little better. Maybe I just got a bad glove. Maybe it was just wasn't because the other one feels more snug on me. No, oh well, now I could feel it. I just had to let the feeling get to me. Yeah, the pinkies feel a little awkward. Um, but yeah, these gloves, they feel cheap. They don't feel super good. But I mean, you never know. If you take care of them, you might be okay. If you were like my friend asking me if you should get them, I'd be like, nah, bro, just get the New Balances, bro. It's better, they're better. So if you were wondering what I think, I'm not gonna just be like, oh, just get what you want, because I can't stand when people sometimes they tell you to think for yourself, but they won't even give you their genuine opinion and help boost your motivation to get something. But anyways, um, yeah, I mean, it feels constricted when I bend my fingers. I didn't feel this on any of the other gloves. It feels like I'm gonna rip it, or like it's just not meant to bend, if that makes any sense. Like it feels really constricted, like it's gonna rip when I bend my thumb a little bit. It feels just um too firm, I guess, too stale or something like that. Uh and the button sensitivity is okay. It's better than the Simari and the Achiou, but it's nothing close to like the New Balance or the Under Armour or anything like that. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend this one. It just feels too awkward and it's cheap. It's funny. This is probably the worst one, the worst pair of gloves, and it's supposed to be specifically for gaming. Um, the only thing I could say good about it is that it's thin and you can feel the controller a little bit, but as soon as you try to feel the buttons or bend for the analogs, it feels like it's gonna rip or that you're like stretching out the glove and getting it ready to wear and tear. You know what I mean? So it's not a good feeling. Yeah, it's only mostly for the thumb. Everything else is all right. The pinky feels a little awkward. It feels bulky. But I mean, you're probably not going to be using your pinky too much unless you're going to work the paddles, which feels awkward when I'm using them now. So yeah, I'd say these ones are not that ordeal for gaming unless you really need them. And I think these were the most expensive ones actually too, which is crazy. I think correct me if I'm wrong. These were about, I think, $30 for these bad boys. Well, they're not really that bad, so I'd call them good boys, to be honest. And I don't mean that in a good way. So, yeah, this is Ironclad Gaming Gloves. Gaming in very thick, bold quotation marks. There you go. Ironclad. All right, let me take these ones off. I got one more set of gloves for you. And honestly, I didn't even realize what these said. I just grabbed them. And these are actually working gloves. So they're probably not going to be good. I'm just going to give you a warning right now. When they came in, I was like, oh man, these aren't what I thought they were. But I got them anyways, and I'm going to do the review anyways, because you never know. Maybe it might surprise me. So and it comes also with 12 pairs. Um these are cool job gloves. Okay? These are working gloves though. So they look kind of thick, so I assume these are going to be horrible. Um but I'm going to give them a try anyways just to see. And then I'm just going to return them and that'll be the end of that. So, let's get these bad boys open. Yeah, these are more like gloves you'd use for construction probably, or maybe even gardening if you're a gardener. Yeah, they feel pretty. Oh yeah, these are super low quality. They feel like they would rip. Look at this. Cool jobs. These feel very, so if you're like looking for gardening gloves or construction gloves, I wouldn't even get these even for that. They feel so low quality, and I guess it's to be expected when it comes with a 12-pack pair. But I mean, I guess if you're gardening, you shouldn't, they should last you maybe like a couple of weeks, maybe, or something like that. But that's just, I don't know. But I mean, hey, this might be a better deal than the freaking gaming gloves though, to be fair. If this feels good on the controller, I'm going to say that these are probably even better than the Ironclad because they're cheaper and you get 12 of them. Like if you're going to get some cheap gloves, you might as well get these instead of the Ironclad gaming gloves if you're just trying to look for something cheap. Okay, so the buttons aren't too sensitive, but I will say that they feel, I mean, I got medium and it feels like they're really spacious with my hands, but of course that's probably because they were made for construction or gardening and things of that sort. They were made for work. These are working gloves. But I mean, I like I said, you could just get used to it if you really wanted to. You can really get used to this and play with it. And I mean, it feels pretty comfortable. It's just like I said, it's a little spacious, which would bother the crap out of me. But you can get used to it and like you can feel the control. You can feel the controller and the buttons. Like there's a pretty sharp sensitivity between the hand and the controller. So I think that's pretty neat. And quite frankly, that might even be better than the Ironclad Gaming Gloves. But to be fair as well, the Ironclad Gaming Gloves feel more snug on you in a good way. They don't feel like they're hugging you. They feel like they're like part of your hand, and these don't. These feel like they're separate from your hand. But when you play the with the controller, it like connects it to your hand. It feels like it presses it onto your hand, which is, I mean, is fine. It just doesn't feel as good when you put the controller down. It feels like, oh, these are working gloves now. But then when you have the controller, it's like, oh, like these aren't too bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it feels. Um, if someone was like, hey, you want to buy these gloves or those gloves, and you're on a budget, these ones for sure, 100%. And you get freaking 12 of them. 12 of these gloves for however much the price is. I'm going to put it up. But I know 100% it is not more than $30. Okay? It's not. So, but yeah, so those are these gloves. Cool jobs. You know, if you're looking for some cheap gloves, they're all right. I think they only come in brown. They might come in like black or whatever, but it's, I mean, it's just, that's just for the tip or whatever. So yeah, there you go. And that's all the gloves that I have, okay? As for my final conclusion, easily, without a doubt, I'm keeping the New Balance gloves. I'm going to wear them for my gaming. They breathe well, they feel good, they look cool, they are compatible with the controller 100%. These are the gloves that I'm getting. New Balance. They're nice and thin, but also durable. Um, I guess only time will tell whether they are actually worth it in the end, because I don't know if they'll rip easily over me doing something stupid, or if they'll like, grind out the grips, grind out for me playing consistently. Because I'm an everyday gamer, so I'm keeping these things in mind. I play every day, or at least every other day, and uh, I don't go crazy on them though. Like I'm not one of those types that's like, oh, making a bunch of loud noises and pressing all the buttons like in the movies. You know what I mean? Like being all exaggerative. But yeah, these are the ones I'm going with. Uh for the second one, I'd probably go with the Under Armour ones. These ones, I would go with these second. I like the grips on them, but the grip on this one's better. The best grip is the first one, the Simari. But these are cool. These are good to use. They're nice and thin. They're not as thin as these though. That's why I like these better. The New Balance ones are the best ones in my opinion. Okay, and then you got the first ones with the grips. These were all right. These feel the most durable. These feel like they will last you a long time. These are the Simari gloves. Okay. These ones are really good quality. They're just too bulky for me. And, that's about it. And that's a big deal because it means it's not compatible with the controller as much as like the New Balance ones. So that's a no go for these ones. But I'm going to keep that in mind for when I got to, you know, uh, have something with grips that I can use. Maybe when it's super cold, I can have these ones. I might even keep these ones just to, for whatever, but and I like the way they look, but this grip honestly might fade out after a while. This might just be like, a little just some ploy to get to reel you in, and then you use it and you know how it can like fade away. But I mean, you could say the same about New Balance, so but yeah, these are decent. They're just not good for gaming in my opinion. And then there is, of course, the Achiou gloves. Okay. These are more like actual winter gloves. They got decent grip. It's not that good, but these are super bulky. These are the warmest ones out of all of them. So if you want something warm and you don't mind the thickness, then I guess get these. Again, like I wouldn't recommend these for gaming. They're just not as good as the New Balance. As for the Ironclad, Okay. I mean, I think it's just, I mean, it's what I expected. They're giving you some gloves and throwing the word gaming in front of it, expecting you to buy these suckers for 30 freaking dollars. I think more than that. It's like $31 or something like that. And like, it's a money grab, bro. I'm warning you right now. Don't fall for it unless you don't give a damn and you're just like, whatever, I want them because it looks cool to me. Like, if it looks cool to you, bro, they don't look terrible. Like, they look kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, but like, I don't know, it's just it's a no-go for me. They feel super cheap. They just don't feel right when I'm playing with the controller, and I just, I mean, they're so expensive. There's just nothing good about them other than the fact that you know, they're advertised as gaming. You could say, "Oh, these are real gaming gloves," but it's like, okay, like, sure, bud. But anyways, yeah, don't recommend these. I recommend the New Balance. And then of course, you got your freaking work gloves, the cool jobs. If you just want to get some cheap gloves, you don't care about anything else but their cheapness, you can go ahead and grab these. You get 12 of them for however much the price is. I'll leave it in the description and I'll put it on the screen when I edit this video. Cool job gloves, not terrible, but definitely not recommended for gaming. Okay. New Balance. You would think I was sponsored by them, but I'm not. I promise you. I did not expect these guys to be the winners. Uh they weren't even they're not even advertised as gaming gloves. These are just like thin gloves, I think for like working out or something, and they work like freaking magic. At least that's what it seems like, right? I'm going to play with them and maybe perhaps in a few months I'll give an update on these bad boys and then I'll put it onto one of my videos and link it to this video so you guys know. But as of now, these are the ones I'm gonna go with. Um, so yeah, uh, that's all there is to this video. This is my honest review. Straight up honesty. As I'm looking for my own gloves, I experienced it with you. So yeah, you know, New Balance, man. I don't even like New Balance really. Like, I don't buy any of their shoes or anything, but I'll buy their gloves. I'll buy the gloves, not the shoes, not anything else, but the gloves. I'm gonna have to go. So that's even better for you if you buy their shoes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hating on them or nothing. They're just not my style. I don't really like their style or anything. So, but if you like them, hey, here's another reason to get them, right? Um, New Balance gloves, gaming gloves, awesome, breathable, flexible, durable, compatible with controllers, the whole nine with me, for me at least. So yeah, um, I hope you liked this review and I hope you got the information you were looking for. Um, and I hope you game to your heart's content and keep on gaming to your heart's content. All right. You guys be fun out there. Also be competitive. Don't let others bring you down. This is Skoda based. Peace out.